Welcome back to the Goal2Go podcast, man. Week 17, episode 18 of the podcast. Back for another episode. Regular season winding down, man.
Yes, sir.
Got the playoff race just before us. You guys already know how to not segment this week. Gonna do a little in or out on the teams in that wild card hunt. And then we're gonna go into our predictions. First off, hope everyone had a good Christmas. Hope you all ate some food, saw some fam, opened up some presents. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate.
Yep.
Happy holidays,
Happy
man.
holidays.
New Year coming along as well. So, we're going to take a look at our race, which isn't really a race anymore, bro. I just kind of let it go down the hole. I'm 133 and 11, and you're 152 and 88. So yeah, I went 7 and 9 last week. You went 9 and 5. You just go ahead.
There were just some weird games, bro. Like, fam, the Broncos getting blitzed by the Rams. Dolphins, unfortunate second half woes. Like, Derek Carr just forgetting how to play quarterback. Some crazy games. Y'all, your Browns selling the Saints. Like, come on, man.
I'm going to get in both to the Browns and the Dolphins.
And the surprising Panthers run game.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard, the dog, man.
And
Devontae Foreman.
They both had over like 120 yards, something like that.
Dog. Yeah, we're going to get into all them games, especially the Broncos, man. That was sick. But
Dog.
We're going to start off hot or not. I'm going to start you off this week.
All right, let's go.
Get you warmed up. Got some good ones. I got 3. So you just talked
about.
We
probably have like similar ones.
Yeah,
knowing what you gonna ask, I didn't even look. I don't even know.
I got 3. You just talked about Derek Carr. So Josh McDaniels is not the problem in Vegas.
I'm gonna say that's a hot take because I do think he is a problem. You know, we've talked about it on this show before, and we all know about his what he's done as a head coach. You know, prior to the Raiders, including what he's done this season. Had to stint with the Broncos. Wasn't really the best. He wasn't. I believe he was the coach when they had Tebow and all that, like that situation and everything. And then I watched a podcast before of, I think it was I Am Athlete. And Brandon Marshall was just talking about like his time with McDaniels as a head coach. Just didn't work out. I mean, listen, some people just are made to be coordinators or fit better as coordinators, but regardless, I mean, with that Raiders team, I don't think it's just McDaniels. I think you got to put some blame on Derek Carr. He's hasn't really been protecting the ball this year. 2 big interceptions late. And they just, that defense, not a lot of talent, not really finishing games. They just can't win games, you know. They're like the opposite of the Vikings, where the Vikings, like, I believe are 11-0 in one-score games, and the Raiders, whenever they're in one-score games, they just seem to figure out a way to lose them. So I think obviously the coaching is a very big problem, but I'm going to say, you said it was the only problem, right?
I said he's not the problem.
Oh, he's not the problem. No, yeah. I think so, he is the problem, but I do believe there's more. There's more to it. Yeah. I mean, when your team is playing like this and you have, star franchise players like almost crying after the game about how bad you guys are, like
about Josh Jacobs, man.
I mean, and Devontae Adams, we've heard what he said over the course of the season about he's not happy with how the team's not winning and stuff. It's tough, man. Raiders are in a very weird place, but yeah, that is a hot take. I think there's a lot more than just McDaniels, but he is a big part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Next up, hot or not, it's gonna be Tom Brady's last season.
That's a hot take. I definitely think he's coming back next season. Now, I don't think it's with the Bucs. I think he might, try to figure something out, try to go elsewhere. It's looking pretty good over there in San Francisco. I'm not going to lie. So, listen, a little rekindle with the Patriots. I don't know. Hey, it's another team in the AFC.
I was actually gonna bring it up.
That need a quarterback. Everything else look good in the Jets. They got the White House.
Oh, the Jets.
The Jets, yeah.
I was gonna say if Tua doesn't play football again, it might be in Miami, but
I feel like if I'm a quarterback, I would rather go to the Jets than the Miami Dolphins.
Really?
Just because I feel like the weapons in Miami are better. Yes, you got Hill, Waddle. We kind of talked about arguably two best receiver duo in the league, but I just think that Jets defense is a lot more put together and ready to win, and that run game. You get Breece Hall back next season. Xavier Knight, undrafted free agent rookie, he's really stepped up this season. You get Mekhi Becton back healthy on that O-line. Some pieces come back. The Jets are really just a quarterback away, whereas the Dolphins, I think, are just one step right below the Jets. I think that offense is really good. You know, that Mike McDaniels, he'll really scheme stuff up. You don't really have nothing to worry about. But me personally, I just like what the Jets have going on, just a tad bit more. But, I mean, listen, if you want to throw the Dolphins in there as well, if Brady goes to Miami, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked either way. There's a lot of opportunities out there for Brady that teams are looking for QBs and that seem to be in win now mode. So I definitely don't think it's his last season, but I do think it's his last season with the Bucks.
All right. My last one for you, sort of a wild card in there. So Justin Jefferson, he's only 260 yards away from a 2,000-yard reception season. Could break the catch record as well. Hot or not, Jay Jets should be named MVP.
Didn't he come out and say this the other day? I believe he said,
might have.
I think he
I
said
saw
his
someone
name.
post this.
I think he came out and said his name should have been in it. Regardless, MVP, that's tough, bro. I'm gonna say it's a hot take only because of how the award is given out. Like,
I was gonna say your personal opinion. We know it's a QB award.
Yeah. I don't think it's a hot take, bro. I mean, he's having a crazy season. He's breaking, all of Randy Moss's records, Chris Carter, two of some other, best receivers to ever play the game. And we just really see, the impact he's having on that offense. He's really opening stuff up for Hawkinson over the middle. He's made Kirk Cousins. Like, Kirk is not having that great of a year, but he's finding ways to get Jefferson the ball. And Jefferson's looking like the clear-cut receiver one right now. I mean, earlier we thought it was Tyreek. Devontae Adams had a few really good games, but I mean, at the end of the season, it's Justin Jefferson. He's proven it time and time again. So I don't think it's a hot take. I think he could easily get it, just because whenever the Vikings seem to be losing those one-score games, it's always like Jefferson making a really big play to kind of help bring them back, or he's like beating double coverage or making some crazy one-handed catch to force overtime or something like that. But I think they'll give it to Mahomes. I think Mahomes also does deserve it because what he's doing for the Chiefs. But, I mean, listen, if Justin won the award, I wouldn't be mad. He deserves it. He's breaking records, putting on the show. So I won't hate it.
We know he won't get it, though. I just threw that one in there for fun. Saw the world talking about it.
If Cup didn't get it last year,
yeah, facts.
I think you got Offensive Player of the Year locked, though.
No doubt. Yeah, I don't think anyone's being that this year.
Hopefully, you think he'll get votes at least
for MVP? Yeah. Someone might throw him as number 2 vote or
Bro, apparently, I don't know how true this is or what the real what is really like. I'm not a fucking MVP voter. I don't have a ballot, but apparently they used for prior in the NFL, it used to just be you pick one person. But I think this year they're switching it to how the NBA does it, when you pick 5. Okay. So multiple people can get votes. So votes, so who gets first place votes, second place votes, kind of how they do it in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I think before in the NFL it was you just pick one name. Okay. I could be wrong though, but I think I seen that about they was talking about changing the MVP ballots or MVP votes.
Not mad at it. That's all I got this week.
All right, I got 3 for you. I'll start you off with a little divisional one. Hot or not, with Lamar, the Ravens are a better team than the Bengals.
This is not a hot take in my opinion.
Right now?
Anytime. Doesn't matter. Super Bowl run Bengals. Something about that Bengals team, man. It just doesn't click. That O-line. We've seen him at times when Joe Burrow's under pressure. He just looks lost. He doesn't look like Joe Burrow. He looks like, what's his name? Macaulay, whatever, from Home Alone. He's running for his life.
Lyle Collins just went out too with an ACL.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
It's even worse for the Bengals. But, I mean, you put Lamar under pressure, and he's still going to be the same quarterback trying to escape pressure. Sure, the Dolphins showed, I think, last year in that cover zero that can't be manipulated with one-on-one, can't put the ball in certain places. But when it comes down to it, he's still going to be active in the run game. They're still going to control the clock for most of the part. And that's something the Bengals really struggle to do sometimes. You'll see that ground game get going. Never been consistent with it. They show flashes, and sometimes that's all it is flashes. I think the Ravens are just more built to win in the playoffs. Not knocking the Bengals fully, but I do think that they're a better team, even with their defensive lapses. If you take away those 4 games that they blew massive leads in like the third and fourth quarter, I mean, the Ravens are sitting AFC North champs once again. So, I mean, Bengals going to repeat this year most likely, but I do think the Ravens are probably better off in the playoffs to make a push.
All right. Here's the one you knew that was coming. Hot or not, Tua isn't the answer for Miami at quarterback.
I'm going to say this. A hot take. You said isn't the answer?
Yeah, so Tua
I'm going to say it's a hot take, but obviously there's just so many factors at this point. I mean,
Your opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to say not a hot take. Obviously, Christmas. I was pretty mad watching the game. Find out he's concussed the day later. Kind of makes sense if you look at his stat line before and after.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't seeing the right colored jerseys or anything like that. Not even trying to be funny. Tua seriously needs to take a look at his life. Probably take the rest of the season to himself to reevaluate where he's at and what he wants to do, bro. Because at the end of the day, he's had 3 concussions in the same season. We know football to be a league where there's a lot of traumatic brain injuries. And, I mean, Tua could go without playing football the rest of his life, and I think he'd still be fine. So it was really up to him. I would love to see him back out there fully healthy. That's the only thing, man. Can he be healthy? Can he play in the NFL without risking his life? If he can, man, I'd want him back in Miami. So and he's the answer. I mean, he was tearing up the Packers in the first half.
He was.
In the second half, it was like he wasn't even throwing to the Dolphins receivers.
That one TD he threw to Hill, that was like the first pass I've seen all season where like he actually hit Tyreek in stride on a deep ball. Like,
he went to the one, but
yeah, like Tyreek didn't even have to like slow down or come back to get it. He like literally hit him like right on the money.
Nah, he did. And I think the announcer said something too, because me and my brother were talking. They're like, oh, they won't say he underthrew that one. He's like, Tua puts a good ball in there, something like that, bro. But
yeah,
they weren't ready to give him credit. But yeah, man, Tua rest up. I'd love to have him back in Miami.
All right, and then my last one is hot or not, the Eagles won't win the playoff game this season.
You know I'm a prime Eagles hater just because of you. But I'm gonna say it's a hot take, man. Last game, obviously defense kind of got a little exposed. You're gonna have games like that. But, I mean, you got Gardner Minshew tearing up the other side. It's a high scoring game. Sometimes that's how games go, man. You got 2 teams going at it offensively. In the playoffs, you probably won't see it. Probably more of a defensive matchup. You do see shootouts sometimes, but not as often. When it comes down to it, I see the Eagles winning a playoff game. Probably going to have the first seed, so it might be a bye and get bounced. That could happen, but I see them kind of winning a playoff game. I think they should win a playoff game.
It'll most likely be either the Bucks or the Cowboys. At
1-1 against both team or against the Cowboys. And
the
Bucks
Bucks
do it really
embarrassed us last season.
Yeah, it was last season, man.
And if we play the Bucks at home, it means they beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's still one game. We've seen the Bucks this year win games and come out and overtime win. Who'd they play last week?
The Cardinals, I believe.
Yeah, Cardinals and who's it?
Trace
McSorley. Like, come on, bro. Mr. Meme himself, like.
Penn State legend, man.
I like the Eagles to win a playoff game, man. Shout out Minshew too.
No, Minshew, bro, he's getting paid, bro. He's starting somewhere next season, dog.
We were talking about it today. Minshew and Baker Mayfield, how they're kind of in the same boat.
I would take Minshew.
Yeah, the thing is, Baker's gonna get more chances because he was obviously a number 1 overall pick compared to Minshew, who had to come out again and prove himself, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, Baker's had more opportunities though. Like this
Has
is
better
Gardner's
opportunities as well. Not saying the Rams is a good opportunity, but in Cleveland, like the team was set up for him.
No, I'm talking about in terms of after
chances.
after the team that drafted him. Like this is Gardner Minshew's second spot. Excuse me, right after the Jags. He went from the Jags into the Eagles, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Baker went to the Panthers.
And now the Rams.
Didn't really work out. Rams in the same season. Like, is he gonna be on the Rams next season, or like what's going on? Like, it's just weird. But I think also in both of those, you got to take into account the system. Like, Baker hasn't really done shit till Sean McVay like made him look really good. That's one of the best offensive minds. And then Minshew steps in for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, who obviously have one of the best schemes and offensive personnel in the league. So that's a help to him as well. So I don't think they can go to teams like, I don't think the Texans should be calling like Gardner Minshew or Baker.
I don't think the Texans would call Gardner.
Yeah.
What, they just have a fourth quarterback to throw in rotation, like Davis Mills, Jeff Driscoll, Gardner Minshew.
Or a team like I don't know. Like bad teams shouldn't be
He's
looking
not like a plug and play. Like, I mean, you could like go to the 49ers, but the 49ers wouldn't want to get him because they already got someone that's serviceable.
Yeah, the 49ers
like
put anybody.
You know what I'm
there,
saying?
Bro.
Like it
Take
doesn't.
Mr. Irrelevant, put him in there.
It's kind of like the same with Jacoby Brissett, but a little more proven and older.
Like the Colts are a perfect example of a team. Like I don't think the Colts should go out trying to get Baker or
no,
Gardner
not
Minshew.
at all.
Now they probably might end up doing it because
they should draft a quarterback.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll talk more draft, once the season is we get there. But I mean, the way it's looking now, they're not really in prime position to take one of the better QBs, and
they're not unless
outside
trade
of
JT and rebuild.
Outside of Bryce Young, like you don't really have time to develop or anyone to develop on the Colts. Like C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, like those are the kind of guys like that are the first rounds, but they're projects. Like who are they gonna sit behind? Nick Foles, like Matt Ryan. Like we already seen what that's gonna do.
3 picks last night, man.
And like it's tough, man. Like who's gonna be Jeff Saturday? Jeff Saturday can't be the coach there.
Nah, he can't.
The Colts are in a weird spot, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out Andrew Luck. He's ruined that franchise.
He saved his career and life.
Yeah, because I don't know, bro. If he's still playing, who knows what that Colts team looks like, bro? He was a dog.
Facts. Was that 3?
Yeah, that was my 3.
All right, man. In or out? You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You can start off.
All right, you want me to ask you?
Yeah.
So I got 3 teams. You're gonna tell me in or out.
Yeah.
One of the teams already locked in, but we'll just go ahead and keep them in there just for the sake of things. So I got New England Patriots, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Tennessee Titans in or out of the wild card race.
So you want me? I'll just start off and do one, and then you do one, like go back and forth, or you just want me to do all of them?
Just, knock out all 3 and then
all 3. All right.
Yeah.
So for the first one, I did the Patriots, and I said out. They've lost 4 of their last 5, and they also have 2 tough divisional games left. And those 2 divisional games, it's not like they're gonna just like sit players out. Like both of these teams are actually playing for something. Miami's playing for a playoff spot, and Buffalo's trying to play to clinch that 1 seed because right now them and Kansas City have the same exact record. So if they lose a game and the Chiefs win out, then they lose that 1 seed. So if the Bills win out, then they keep that 1 seed because they have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. So the Bills are going to be playing because they want that 1 seed. But, we've seen in the last few games that offense and Mac Jones just kind of stalls. Like, they don't really look good. Mac Jones isn't playing good. No real weapons on offense. Ramondre Stevenson, and he's like a B-level weapon at that. Like, no real receivers, no real threats on that side of the ball. And coaching and play calling are 2 of the, most kind of head-scratching situations. Like, they're, the biggest, what are you doing, in the league? The amount of screens and draw plays and just just bad play calls we see because Matt Patricia is the play caller who was a defensive coach. And, Mac Jones is limited as a passer, doesn't have the greatest arm in the league. So we kind of see them two clashing all the time. Whenever they should put the camera on Mac Jones. He's like rolling his eyes or like just shooing off Matt Patricia, or cursing somebody out or yelling at someone. Just really doesn't look like that offense, and those guys are bought in. So I'm going to say the Patriots miss. And then the Chargers. I said the Chargers were in, and, thankfully they clinched last night. So this is correct. But, outside of the Jags, the Chargers are possibly the hottest team in the AFC right now. They're getting healthy at the right time. Bosa and Slater, the left tackle, should be back for the playoffs. Mike Will and Keenan Allen looked really good last night. They're getting a lot more healthier. Justin Herbert's favorite targets. You have an elite top 5 quarterback, so that's always something you want to hang your hat on going into the playoffs, because especially in the AFC with all that quarterback talent, you want to be able to match up with those guys. And I think Justin Herbert has the talent and is good enough to match up with pretty much any quarterback right now in the AFC, so that'll always give him hope. And they're hot, man. Like, they're basically the opposite of the Patriots. They've won 4 of their last 5. And really the only concerns I have with them is Joe Lombardi's play calling. Like, I saw a video where he just calls a lot of plays where the receivers and routes have an endpoint. Like, they don't really throw a lot of routes or concepts like, slants or ends or posts where, you can hit receivers in stride and they get run out their catches. Basically like a bunch of like curls and stop routes and, routes where they're going to a spot on the field, not really continuing. So when you have a quarterback like Justin Herbert that can make literally any throw on the field, you kind of want to, see more variety. But, I'm just happy Justin Herbert finally made the postseason. All his haters can't say he's never made the playoffs. So now he's just got to go out there and prove he can win a playoff game. And the last team you gave me was the Titans. And surprisingly for them, I put out, man. They've lost 5 straight. In this entire season, they kind of have been frauds, if you want to say. They have no real good wins. Their 2 best wins on this season were Commanders and Packers, and those are 2 fringe playoff teams that you'll be talking about next. So we'll see what you think about them. But, if those are your 2 best wins, that's not really, proving anything. You've lost to all the good playoff teams. You lost to the Bengals. You've lost to the Eagles. You lost to the Giants. Like, these are all teams that are in the playoffs and that are going to be trying to make playoff pushes. You got the Cowboys coming up this week. That's not going to be any easier. And for me, health has been a major, major concern for them. Tannehill's out for the season with the ankle. He got surgery. Taylor Lewan, their left tackle, got injured a few weeks ago. He's out for the season. And their secondary has been super, super banged up. Caleb Farley and Elijah Molden are out. Christian Fulton has been banged up. Those are 3 starting corners they've had that are all injured or banged up or out for the season already. Now Derrick Henry's banged up. Apparently he has a hip injury. And also Jeffrey Simmons was on the injury report as well with an ankle injury. So, basically everyone notable on this team has had some kind of injury at some point or is out for the season. And, you can't win if you don't have your best players. And they're one-dimensional, man. Teams are figured out. If you try to stop Derrick Henry and you stop the Titans, they don't really have no dominant outside threat in the receiver anymore in A.J. Brown. Have Traylon Burks, but add that name to the list of injuries they've had this season. He's had the foot injury, turf toe, I believe, and then the concussion on that great catch against the Eagles. But, Malik Willis is kind of just out there with backups and practice squad players, just trying to do the best he can. And unfortunately, I think, Jaguars are getting hot at the right time. Trevor Lawrence is looking like a top 8, you want to argue top 5 quarterback in the league right now. He's got the Jags playing really good, so I think they'll take the division. And ultimately, I don't think the Titans win the division. I think they miss the playoffs. So those are the 3 French teams that I have.
I think you're trending in the right direction. You said the Titans because they played the Commanders and Packers. So go ahead. Who's your 3 teams for me?
Yeah, the teams I picked for you were the Commanders, Packers, and the Panthers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those 3 teams in the NFC.
Yep. So I'm going to start off with the Commanders, who, I was on that Heineke train for a little minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're out, man. They got the Browns this week and then the Cowboys divisional matchup next week. who could possibly be playing for like the Bills,
seed.
that one seed in the NFC, which is crucial now because that 2 seed doesn't get the bye. It's only one team. Every team wants that bye, freshen up, get that game plan going for that game, and get yourself a bye. So you got the Commanders out. I don't see them winning out, and I kind of see another team jumping in, and I do think it's going to be your boy Geno Smith and the Seahawks taking that last wild card spot, per se. For the Pack, kind of like the same thing. In the NFC, you got the Giants and Commanders really fighting for those last 2 wild card spots. I got the Packers out too, man. They got 2 divisional games as well. They got the Vikings and the Lions. Vikings are going to be playing, obviously, their starters this week. J-Jet's going for that record. And then they got the Lions next week who, they're going to play their heart out. They're going to want to ruin the Packers' chances. Team that's dominated their division for decades.
Yeah.
So they're going to come to play. So I got them out as well. And then when it comes to Carolina, I just don't see them pulling off 2 wins to get in. They got the Bucks and Saints this week. They did pick against them. We'll talk about that later. But they got to win 2 games, and then they need some help as well. So at the end of the day, Carolina, they're relying on that run game and Devontae Foreman and Chuba Hubbard kind of really don't have that passing game. If they get in, it's just going to be a massacre for whoever they play in the playoffs.
Sam Darnold in the playoffs.
Yeah. This is just not NFL television.
I'm pretty sure they would have a home game, though, because I think the only way they can get in is if they win the division.
Is it the division?
If the Bucks,
No, you're right. They can't win the division, yeah.
That'd be insane.
But so here's the thing: the Bucks are up a game right now.
And the Bucks are they're 7-8. The Panthers are 6-9.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to tiebreaker.
They got
the Bucks Panthers play this week.
Okay, so they have to win.
They have to win, yeah. And even if they win that week, they still got to rely on probably the Bucks to lose because it's gonna be split. It's gonna come down to analytics.
Yeah.
And who wins? Yeah.
Well, if they beat the Saints, it come down to like divisional record and shit.
Yeah,
so
it's just gonna come down to a bunch of trying to bring out the guys that they actually pay to do that shit. But I got Carolina missing it.
I'm not mad at it.
Just kind of that fringe team that could make the playoffs, but it's not going to be good television if they do either way. So the NFL are probably going to rig the game and find out a way to put Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it was in my inner outs, man.
I mean, I pretty much agree with all of those. The only thing I would say is, man, Packers are sneaky.
I knew you were gonna say.
I don't know why, bro. But there's something about Aaron Rodgers. Both of those games are at home in Lambeau, by the way. 2 dome teams, late December, January, playing in Lambeau. I don't know.
A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones type game again. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I mean,
but
although Christian Watson is banged up, pretty much their only passing offense. He's kind of hurt. So
said the Titans beat the Pack. I know you said they're heating up right now, but it's just not complete football.
Yeah,
and
they lost too many games early on.
I saw a clip like Aaron Rodgers said "Go Browns" or some shit like that. So I don't know whether he was trolling or
why does he need who the Browns play?
He said "Go Browns." I saw a clip. So I hope Aaron Rodgers has fun at home in the playoffs. So, yeah, those are ins and outs, man. Let us know. Y'all agree with it or not? Who y'all rocking with in the playoff? Finish off these races. Coming down, obviously, probably going to come down to week 18. Feels weird saying that.
Yeah. Do you agree with the 3 I picked?
You had Pats out.
Titans out, and then, Chargers are in. But I said, yeah.
I agree with it because I do think the Dolphins beat the Patriots. Hoping Teddy B. Maybe Mike McDaniel's actually forced to run the football now, and
yeah,
I know Mostert fumbled
that
ball before half.
The run game was looking decent too against the Packers.
Mostert fumbled the ball before half, and Mike McDaniel just shies away from it. Sees 3 picks, and he's like, let's keep throwing the football. You just incorporate the run. I don't know how many times I saw this one person who never has good takes, Booger McFarland. He said, "Run the football," and I was like, "It must be the most accurate thing he's ever said in his life, bro. The best analyzation he's done in his career, other than playing football, was saying the Dolphins should run the football." But Mike McDaniel still doesn't do it. Great mind, but he needs to incorporate the run.
Get into the picks.
Yeah, week 17 coming up, man. Got a full slate of games, of course. What is it? 16 games.
I believe so.
Yeah, 16 games. So we're getting right into it. Cowboys Titans open us up on the week. Yeah, we talked about how hurt that Titans team is. Malik Willis he's going out there just to get reps at this point. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cowboys as well, man. I mean, the Cowboys are coming off of arguably the best win in Dak's career since he's been in the league. They're red hot, man. Titans, like I kind of said, they're super banged up. Don't really have anything. And where the Cowboys are, if they win out and the Eagles lose out, they're playing for that number 1 seed right now. So they're going all in. They want to be ready for the playoffs and make a deep run. So I'm gonna take the Cowboys this game. I'd love to see the Titans win. By the way, it'd be amazing, but I don't see a way they do.
Next game up. These games are coming down to. You could kind of take these games off red zone on the slate. Cardinals Falcons. I really hope they don't have this as a Saturday game, but we got the New Year's Bowl, so I don't think they did that.
Yeah, I don't think there's Saturday games this week.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Give me the Cardinals. Flip a coin. Falcons kicked 3 field goals last week. Couldn't score a touchdown. Cardinals, they put up a tough fight, man. Just fell short. Give me the Cardinals on the road.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. This is like a meaningless game for both these teams. But I'm going to take the Falcons at home. You kind of mentioned last week, Tyler Algier and that run game has been looking pretty good. I believe they're one of the best running teams in the league right now. So against the Cardinals team that's kind of depleted right now, J.J. Watt kind of just announced his retirement. So that's like the main thing going on around the Cardinals right now. So I just think, Falcons run the ball pretty good and end up getting the win.
Yeah, I forgot, man. He did announce that retirement. It sounded kind of weird, just week 17 announce your retirement.
I mean, the season's over for the Cardinals.
No, it is, but you might as well just throw on the pads for one more year. But
for what? Not for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just go ahead and get a trade.
Demand.
I mean, bro, just send him out, get a
40-year-old J.J. Watt holding out. Like
you're saying, like a fifth round, fourth round pick. Like some team wouldn't give that up
for J.J. Watt, who's been injured, whose heart is like about to stop playing because I'm not giving up a 4th round pick for J.J. Watt right now.
All right.
Would you, on the Browns, would you want to see the Browns give a 4th round pick for J.J. Watt or the Dolphins?
It's not like Clowney's working. So he's definitely not re-signing with Cleveland. I'll tell you that much. And Dolphins, ever since they gave that contract to Bradley Chubb, who's just been wee-woo, I mean, why not?
At least you guys got Jordan Phillips.
Jalen
Phillips, yeah.
Yeah, he really, last week, I guess I'll talk about, the Dolphins are up next, Dolphins-Pats. Jalen Phillips pressured Aaron Rodgers all game long, but just every time he came around the quarterback, he just forgot to do one important thing, was tackle him, but it's like he didn't even attempt sometimes. It is what it is, man. Dolphins, Pats, obviously probably no Tua. Hopefully they run the football, get some quick throws out of Teddy B or whoever they decide to go with. Just give me the Dolphins, man. You talked about that stagnant New England offense. This is the win for the Dolphins to get kind of almost, I don't think they're clinching with the win, but they do need a little other help. But it's going to bring them close enough to the point where it's realistic if they win this week and could lose next week and still be in. So this is a key game for the Dolphins. I want to see that defense step up. Guys like Bradley Chubb. I want to see a day from Jalen Phillips. And shout out Christian Wilkins, man. He's probably been the best Dolphins defender all season long.
Yeah, he's been really good.
He doesn't get talked about a lot, especially in the media, and should be a Pro Bowler in my opinion. But yeah,
I believe he's an alternate.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah, he should. Hey, him and Javon Holland have led that defense all year, but Wilkins underrated. Probably gonna get a bag this offseason.
Yeah, and I picked the Patriots in this game at first, but then I kind of scrolled up and looked at what I just said about the Patriots, and I'm like, you know what, give me the Dolphins, man. I just feel like they're a more complete team, a better team right now. And then, I mean, the Tua injury sucks. You hate to see it. So that is kind of a question mark with, you know, they're playing on the road in that cold weather. But I just think it comes down to, you know, the weapons the Dolphins have on that offensive side of the ball. Can Tyreek Hill go out there and make a play for you? Can Jalen Waddle, you know, take another drag to the house for like 70 yards? And either one of them can. So there's no one on the Patriots that can do that. So I think it comes down to one or two big plays from the Dolphins on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't think Mac Jones and that offense have the firepower or the will to keep up with the Dolphins on the offense. So I think the Dolphins get it done on the road. But I think it'll be a pretty good game, a tight game. But like I said, I think it just comes down to one or two big plays made by those Dolphins receivers.
I think it's going to be an ugly one.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. But, you know, it just takes one Tyreek Hill bomb or, you know, one screen from Hill or one slant from Waddle to change the game. So I think that'll definitely happen against the Patriots. And the Patriots won't be able to keep up with them.
Bro, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but I'm taking it way back. One year when the Dolphins were in a playoff race late in the season, Tannehill at QB. And it was like the first play of the game, and he threw like just a go route. Mike Wallace beat whatever DB it was, and housed it. Kind of just hoping Teddy B drops one in there like that. But
was that against the Patriots
in New England?
Yeah, I think I remember.
And it was
that
like
game.
cold ass December, and like
yeah.
I think the Patriots kicked like 10 field goals that game, or something crazy. Like they're just kicking field goals from like halftime for buzzers. Ah man, what a time! But next game up, you got your Eagles, who were playing the team that gave them their draft pick.
Yeah.
And I can already tell who you're going to pick. Saints, Eagles. For me, not much to talk about. Got the Eagles.
Yeah. That draft pick, if we beat the Saints this week, it's a lock top 5 pick. So, you know, obviously we want to see that. But this is going to be, I want to say, a good bounce back game. But, I mean, coming from playing a team like the Cowboys, who are one of the best teams in the league, down to the Saints, who have won a few games over the last couple of weeks, surprisingly, not to my liking. But, I mean, the biggest thing right now for the Eagles is just injuries, man. Maddox, he got injured. He's been banged up all season, man. Beginning of the game, he's in. He's locking CD up. He's making plays, tackling at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he was flying all over the field. Dak threw that pick 6. You know, the offense wasn't really going. Avonte Maddox was flying around, you know, just playing that slot corner role, but injured his foot injury. They're saying he's out indefinitely. And then Lane Johnson got injured late in that game as well, and now they're saying he's out for at least the rest of the season. Going to try to come back for the postseason, but, I mean, we don't really know what's going on there. I believe they said he had like a abdomen and knee injury or something like that. Some weird, I don't know.
Two different injuries.
Yeah, but, I mean, regardless, he's not going to be there. We all know about Jalen Hurts, especially with us losing. I think he's really going to try to play this game. I think he ends up playing, but how good is he going to be with that sprained shoulder? Apparently, the reports were saying it's just a pain tolerance kind of thing. So
it's his left shoulder.
It's his throwing shoulder.
Oh,
so apparently, it's a pain tolerance. So I mean, he can play, but it's just, you know, can he deal with the pain? Do we really want to see him go out there and risk it against the Saints team just to clinch that 1 seed? I think he ends up playing just because they don't want him to be sitting out for almost a month and not having to play until the playoffs. So, but, I mean, it's Jalen Hurts. You know, he wants to be out there. He tried to play the Dallas game. It didn't happen. Chauncey, he's eligible to come off the IR. Lacerated kidney, that's tough. They're saying they're going to have him move down into the slot now with the Maddox out if he's able to come back. But Nick Sirianni said in the press conference earlier today, it's just one of those things where you're just going to have to, you know, wait and see. It's day-to-day. They're doing testing. Hopefully Chauncey can come back. Hopefully he can make an impact like he was, in the beginning of the season, but it'll be at a different role. So right now it's just Eagles just got to get healthy, man. It sucks that all these injuries are coming like at the most crucial time of the year, but thankfully we've won a bunch of games already. So we just got to win one more, and I think with Jalen or with Gartner, the way he played against Dallas, I think we should be able to pick up a win against the Saints at home. So I think the Eagles get it done and clinch the 1 seed this weekend.
I mean, it is week 17 of the season. Usually you got teams resting starters heading into the playoffs in years prior. So, I mean, it's the NFL. I don't think any team's healthy at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, like the Chargers, like how they're getting healthy at the right time. Like Bosa's coming back, they're getting Rashawn Slater back.
Yeah,
like
I get what
Mike
you're
Will and Keenan Allen both coming back healthy. It's football, bro. Like injuries happen. It's just unfortunate they're happening now.
I got a question for you. Your GM's Howie Roseman. Yeah, you're Howie Roseman. You taking a call about that Saints draft pick?
It just all depends on what's offered. Like, I mean, we all know Howie at this point. He's master trade negotiator. Like he's like, him trading a pick is always on the table, and I think it's a possibility if one of those teams, kind of like we mentioned, like the Colts or like the Panthers, they've won enough games to not be in that top 5, but yet they don't have a quarterback of the future, and they're looking to get a QB of the future. If they're willing to give up good compensation to trade up to get a guy like, Will Levis or Bryce Young, or Bryce Young falls, but Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, or they want to take a shot at Anthony Richardson in the top 5. Like, it's just it's too much going on right now. I'd like to see the Eagles address, D-line, they getting older, but and corner. Slay's getting older. Bradbury's on a 1-year deal. We see the injuries with Maddox, but I mean, it's Howie Roseman, bro. You never know what's up with him, bro. So I think they'll definitely be taking calls on that top 5 pick. I mean, it's a top 5 pick. Like, it's going to have some kind of value. But, I mean, if you can get value that you think is enough for it back, then sure, go ahead, trade it. If you can get, like a solid D lineman or a good young corner or secondary player, or, another solid O lineman, just keep beefing up that O line, and sure, I'll take it. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does, but they'll definitely be taking calls, and I wouldn't be surprised if they trade it.
Next game on the slate, man, got the Colts and Giants. Giants they're in that second wild card spot currently, and I kind of see them staying there. I mean, this is a game that easily could win at home against the Colts, who really they're in disarray at this point with Nick Foles last week. So, I mean, it was really the Giants' chance to make the playoffs. Like, it's all in their hand. It's all in their control. They got an easily winnable game this week. And I think with one win, I think they clinch a playoff berth.
That tie kind of helped them too.
Yeah, I think they got, 8 wins right now?
Yeah. Like
8, 6, and 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really up to them. I see them winning this game at home against the Colts, who is Nick Foles starting again? Like Sam Ellinger? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Giants, man, at home. Kind of like you said, Giants, wild card team. They've been playing good football all season. And the Colts, I mean, outside of the Broncos, they might be the worst team in football, like right this second. I know the whole season, the Texans, they got the number 1 pick. They haven't been good all season, but bro, if
they're playing more competitive football.
If the Texans and Colts are playing right now, like it's like you would have to. It'd be a decision.
I'd take the Texans.
I'd probably take the Texans too, but I mean, they're just that organization. Everything right now is just like it's just up in the air. Like they have no real direction. What is Jeff Saturday doing? Like just blowing second half leads. Clearly, he's not the answer there. They're just putting all 3 of their quarterback names on the dartboard and just closing their eyes, and just whatever name it lands on, that's who's starting this week. Is it Matt Ryan? Is it Sam Ellinger? Is he going to get benched at half? Is Nick Foles going to come in? Like, there's no stability at the most important position on the football field. Defense is playing all right, but, I mean, there's only so much that defense can do. Jonathan Taylor out. I mean, that passing game just looked atrocious. Nick Foles hasn't played football in I don't know how long, and they just expect him to go in and start. So, I mean, the Colts are in a very bad place right now. And like you said, we mentioned earlier, they've won enough games early on to where they're not going to have one of those top picks to get a guy, get a franchise-changing quarterback. They're just stuck in mid. It's unfortunate for the Colts, man. But I think the Giants handle business at home. Saquon Barkley's been running the ball. Daniel Jones has had a pretty good year for his standards. And like you said, I think the Giants make the playoffs. They get that wild card spot.
Yeah, they lost a heartbreaker last week against the Vikings.
I picked them. I literally told you, bro. Like, it's going to be a good game. The Giants could win it. And they were winning, and they had a shot.
Greg Vikings the real Greg DeLay.
Vikings in one-score games, man. It's the greatest team in the league right now.
I was going to say one other – I don't even know what it was, man. I was going to say –
T.J. Hawkinson went crazy, too.
Yeah, you had to bring that up. I played him in fantasy this week.
That's tough.
I played T.J. Hawkinson, T. Higgins, and someone else, bro. I didn't even stand a chance. It didn't matter who I was playing. Yeah, I could have put Cam Akers from my bench in the starting lineup. I still lose by 25 points.
That's insane.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I won my week. Well, I lost one, but then my other one I won.
Yeah, I'm playing to get my bread back from the buy-in. That's about it now. That third place game, man.
Bro.
This shit crazy, bro. Dude, I was gonna say something about the Colts, but it is what it is. Panthers, Bucks, next game up. I got the Panthers, bro. I see him winning this game. I don't know, after what the Bucks did last week. I know I said they're out, bro. I know that's what you were going to say.
I was about to say, so you got to win making the playoffs.
No, I got them winning this game and losing the next.
Against the Saints?
Yeah, and I think it might come down to tiebreaker between them or the Seahawks or something like that.
We'll see.
But, I mean, who knows, bro. I'm always wrong, so I picked against the Panthers, and maybe that one actually is wrong. And one of my theories is going to hold up. That's all I know.
Yeah, what? You're going to break ways. Even either way. All right, bro. Scary money don't make money. But
you're right. Go ahead.
I'm gonna pick the Bucks, man. We kind of meant they're in another team that's just in a very weird spot, bro. There's no way Tom Brady should be losing to Brock Purdy 1 week and then next week going into overtime with Trace McSorley. If you would have told me that would happen ever in his career, I'd be like, no, you're tripping. But it's reality. It's where we are. Bucks aren't really playing good football at all. Somehow, still division leaders, still holding on by a thread, still probably end up playing a home playoff game, which is kind of insane. So for that reason, they're playing for something, although the Panthers are as well, but the Bucks have more life, more to play for. I'm going to pick the Bucks at home, man. Tom Brady should be able to do enough to get it done.
All right, so I'm cool with the divisional winners getting into the playoffs, per se the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
But I think home field advantage should come down the record. They won the division. Cool. We've done this in years past with, I believe, the NFC East at one point when I forget who made the playoffs. But
it was the Commanders when they won the division, and then the Bucks went in.
The worst record in the playoffs, and they get a home game, but. I'd like to see the NFL change that around a little bit because at the end of the day, do divisional titles mean anything if you're winning 7 or 8 games in the playoff?
They mean a home playoff game.
It's just outright. I don't even know, bro. But
I mean, I get where you're coming from.
I guess I would kind of take away.
It'll be what? What do you think the Bucks record will end up being?
8-9 wins.
8-9 win team
so
hosting
probably
Dallas
a
10
win team, 11
Dallas
win team.
Cowboys are gonna have 11, 12 wins.
But I mean, at the same time, I think it does come into play because I think the Ravens are when you look at it a team that has a 12-win team like the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think they deserve a playoff spot almost, but. I mean, it's been like that for years. I don't think the NFL is ever going to change that.
Nah.
It's just something maybe. But
play at a neutral spot. Or if
go to Mexico?
If the wild card team has more than 4 wins compared to the division leader, they should play in a neutral field. Like it should be like exceptions. You feel me? Like
a neutral field.
yeah,
Bro, what if they decided playing like in London? Like, could the NFL make that happen, bro? That'd be insane.
that'd be
but
fire, bro.
A playoff game in London. Like, it should go to Mexico City and make them play that. If the Broncos ever made the playoffs and had that situation, I know they would go to Mexico because they're the most prepared for it. I know it's higher than Mile High, but they get much more prep than Mile High in the United States. So
Yeah, but I mean, that'd be interesting if if they get a certain amount of wins. Like if you're a division leader,
I'd pick like
and
Buffalo.
like you said, you have like 8 or 9 wins. Like the team with more wins gets to pick like a neutral field. You guys get to play in. It's like if it's the Cowboys and the Bucks, you think they play like in like the Texans stadium, like in Texas.
Like the NFL will never go for that just because of the money. Like this is got to be a fan base either way that would be willing to come out and not
Dallas
have to fly
fan base,
out.
so it's in Texas, it's the same state.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying they're just gonna
Dallas
grab
would just move the game to
Yeah.
the Texans stadium. Yeah,
I mean, it's still a little farther, but either way,
Arlington to Houston, like
I don't know, bro. Texas is pretty big. You can
it
make like a
is,
5
but
hour.
it's not
drive.
like London. Like you don't have to travel across the globe.
Nah, but people in London would come out either way. Like
Well,
it
yeah.
doesn't even matter what they're fans of.
Well, you don't think America's team will travel? I don't know what. 3-4
America's-
hours to say like to go watch their
America's
team,
team? Probably.
play in the playoffs, which always happens and they lose. But this is the one year they actually seem like they have something going. Like they definitely go.
Go ahead and pitch it to Roger next meeting they got.
Or do you think the division winners should get to pick where they play at because they won the division? It just can't.
No,
be a
I
home
think the
game.
team with the better record should just have a fucking home game, bro. To keep it honest, like this neutral field. If they got 3 wins more, like
That's bro.
strength of schedule, like
That's a good idea, bro.
look at you just
That way it
bringing more
means-
analytics to the game.
But it means but because like, bro, winning your division gotta mean something, bro. Like it has to mean
bro,
something.
they're playing nobody. Like it's just
like
they're winning
it's not the
nothing.
Bucks' fault. The rest of the division's so bad. Like
It's not, but they should not be rewarded a home game. You're already getting a playoff berth, which is insane with 8 or 9 wins. Either way, it is.
it's not, bro. It's not the Bucks' fault. They're literally doing everything in their power. They controlling.
No,
like
they should have not lost that many games. Like,
okay,
they're
but
already, they're already getting into
they're
the
winning the
playoffs.
divisional games and the games they need to win.
It's
though,
bad
right?
football getting into the playoffs, hosting a home game, and it's Tom Brady, so the NFL is gonna love it.
All right, you don't see Dallas fans complaining. They probably want to play the Bucks again after what happened at the beginning of the season and the way that things are going now. Like they want that team.
Yeah, they'd probably rather have them at home though.
They don't care where they play on. They just want to play them, man.
All right, so now you're speaking for Cowboys Nation, like.
Damn, they're coming off the greatest win in their franchise since
All right, bro.
fucking Tony Romo was their quarterback, bro.
Yeah, when he was dropping the snap, like
Before we were born, this is the greatest win the Cowboys have ever had.
shit. It's just next game up, man.
Bro, like name a better one, bro.
I don't know, bro. You think I care about Cowboys games that much? They lose in the playoff. You just said it. Like,
Exactly. That's the biggest win of their franchise.
just go ahead, clown
For a
them,
very
bro.
long
It's,
time.
it's your time to clown the Cowboys.
It's not clowning, bro. It's just being real, fam.
But you're saying everything they don't want to hear.
Like, bro, the truth hurts. I'm sorry. One fucking games.
Oh my god.
At least that's more they can say than like the Lions or like they've never won the Super Bowl, bro. Like,
Man,
although I think the Lions have, I don't think they've won a playoff game since, have they? I don't think so, or even made the playoffs.
I think they went once with Stafford and Johnson. Maybe did they?
Oh, I think they did make it once, but they lost to the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I
they
think it was
definitely
Legion of
lost.
Boom.
It's a tough team to run into first game. All right,
Pretty sure, yeah.
AFC West. What you got one more comment?
No, I'm just trying to think of like teams that haven't made the playoffs. The Bears, but I mean they've made it.
They literally
Jay
won
Cutler-
MVP. Nick Valuable Player Mitchell Trubisky. That was in the playoffs.
That was a playoff game.
against the Saints.
That was.
Him
And Jay
Baker,
Cutler.
elite company.
Jay Cutler when he quit on his team. I'm pretty sure that was in the playoffs, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then Adam Gase came and resurrected his career.
He almost made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Bob
shout out
Menery.
Bob Menery.
Wait, the year
What's
they beat
Bob
the
Menery
Saints,
doing?
wasn't that? That's when I think that's the year the Eagles beat them with the double doink.
With the field goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that might have been the year after. Because I think the Eagles played the Saints then.
I think the Saints played the Vikings next round. And then
No, I believe
the miracle happened, and then
that's after the.
That was
I think that was
after.
after the Viking. No, after the Saints beat the Eagles.
what? No, yeah. The Saints beat the Eagles.
No,
No,
the Saints beat the Eagles. Wait, you think that Mitch Trubisky's playoff one was against the Saints?
I believe so.
Oh, we need to figure this shit out. I think it was 2018 after we won the Super Bowl.
It might have been 2018. No, I think it
Is
was
when
been
the
19.
Eagles lost to the Saints.
2010. Nah. 3 times in the playoff. Who'd they play, bro?
Mitch Trubisky does have a playoff one.
Bro, it was literally on Nickelodeon. They were just clowning him. 2020. Who's it against, bro? Like, I lost. Thanks. 2018. Bro, what is this website?
Wait.
That had to be the playoffs, bro. They're saying 2007.
No, I don't think he does, bro.
There's no way that was in a playoff game, bro.
I'm looking at it right now.
Was that the last game of the year that pushed them into the playoffs?
It might have been. Because it's
Okay,
saying
so
they
who did
lost
they
versus
lose?
Philly and then they lost versus the Saints. 2020, they lost to the Saints. 2018, they lost to Philly.
Yeah, so maybe it's 2020.
Because
They
Philly beat
lost
them
to the
at home
Saints. Wait, they lost to the Saints in
2020. Yeah. That's what it says. Chicago at New Orleans.
When did he win Nick Valley? That must have been like the last game. I don't know. He was definitely in a dome when he won that shit.
I do remember what you're playing. I do remember that. MVP game. As Nickelodeon's most valuable player. That was last year.
Bears Saints playoff game. 2021. Bro, so he did
Maybe
win.
In 2021?
Bro, according to Bears Wire USA, site cannot be reached. Yeah, I probably just downloaded a virus.
It was
49 in
Nick-
loss.
the New Orleans Saints
Nah.
21-9 win over the Chicago Bears. Yeah. Who
Yo,
completed just 19 of 29 passes for 199 yards.
that
and a
touchdown was a blur though.
With a touchdown and many other yards coming in garbage time. He won the fan-voted MVP. So he won it in a loss.
That's why, bro. He lost that game.
Yeah,
Dog, it was against the Saints. I knew we were on to something.
it was
bro.
against the Saints. Yeah.
Dog, that's why everyone was clowning. We let the world down by not letting Russ win MVP. Threw 3 picks that game. In reality, Cam Akers should have won that shit, but Baker's in some elite company.
Yeah. Trubisky winning on a loss. Like,
Bro, how did Nick even let that happen and just let that tweet go out?
Who didn't get it on the Saints?
Huh?
Somebody on the Saints should have got it. They won.
Bro, it was probably like Taysom Hill rushing for it. The Cam Jordan was the 3rd highest voted player.
I saw that. It was like Hakeem Hicks. Cam
Yeah,
Jordan.
too. Yeah,
I don't know. Why are they getting votes for losing, bro?
bro, because everyone's just trolling. It's like Jay Cutler going to the Pro Bowl.
It's funny.
Bob Menery started
Wait,
the trend.
2021. So that was last year? No, that was 2 years
2020,
ago.
technically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that was like the COVID year, right? Yeah.
Oh, and then that's when the Saints played the Bucks. And it's like the Bucks finally beat the Saints because the Saints beat the Bucks twice in the regular season that year.
Yeah.
And then Brady and them beat them. And okay. But yeah, that Philly versus Chicago game, that's when that was a double doink. Philly won, and then we went to the Saints, and The Saints beat us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the miracle in
that was the next game, was it?
I think so.
I think those 2 different years.
Oh no, was that the Rams? The no LaMarcus Joyner hit and they didn't.
Oh yeah, the no PI.
Yeah.
Was it Joyner or was it Roby Coleman? I thought.
Oh, some undisciplined dreadhead safety for the Rams.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Somebody like that, bro. Just put their head down and not really care about making a play on the ball. But
hey, bro, he didn't get flagged, so
he didn't.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that was the year. Nah, bro? I can't. I'm just gonna be sitting here talking for days, bro.
No, now because who would they have? That means the Rams would have went on to
in 2021.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. It had to have been because isn't that when the Chiefs won?
What?
Versus the 49ers? And then the Rams lost to the 49ers?
Chiefs Rams was 2019, 2020. Because that was in Miami.
Yeah. Who won in 2021, bro?
Last year? The Rams.
No, before the Rams.
It had to be the Chiefs.
I think, and they beat the 49ers, right? And
yeah.
remember the 49ers beat the Rams in the playoffs.
You said what?
When the 49ers beat the Rams in the playoffs.
What year are you saying that was?
2 years ago.
Rams beat them?
Yeah. Because remember the Rams beat the Saints off that call. And then didn't the NFC Championship game?
Didn't the Saints win? No, the Rams won.
The Rams won.
And then the Rams lost to the Niners. Yeah, you're right.
And then the Niners went to the Super Bowl, and then Mahomes beat them, right?
2020. Oh, the season 2019, 2020. Started 19, went to 20.
No.
Yeah.
They're saying this was in 2021, bro.
Wait,
no.
San Fran
You're
played
right.
in the Super Bowl in 20.
It would be 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Wait, no. It would be in 2018, 2019.
That would be New England and the Rams. And the Patriots beat Sean McVay and Jared Goff.
So that makes sense. Oh, so this was was that the championship game?
What, the Patriots?
No,
the Roby Coleman?
Yes.
That was... Yeah, I think it
it
was because the Rams lost.
The Saints were at home.
Yeah.
Both in the Philly game and against
at home
against the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. We got our timeline straight.
It only took us an hour.
You know how it goes,
knuckleheads, man.
Football rabbit hole.
Wherever, yeah.
We were on Broncos Chiefs. Something we don't have to spend a lot of time on. Chiefs.
Yeah. MVP.
You wanna touch on Nat Hackett?
Oh, not really, bro. All right. Like, why fire him now and not either 6 weeks earlier just finish the season? I woke up to that news and I'm like, it's just pointless shit going on in the NFL.
I mean, it's after getting 50 put up on you by Baker Mayfield. I think that's a fireable offense in 2022. No,
I don't know, bro. It's just surprised he didn't start headbutting people again. Next game up.
Shout out to the Rams, man. I was playing against the Broncos defense, and I was kind of worried, but ended up giving them -4 points. So
yeah, trust me, I know. I started them. Nothing went right this week, bro. Just nothing at all.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Everything was ruined, bro. Just classic, bro. When things start looking bright, bro, never get too high, never get too low, man. Bears Lions. This is a toss-up for me, man. I see this game going both ways. Don't hate it, whoever wins. I see the Bears getting an upset in the Dome, Justin Fields. Just go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions have been a pretty good run-defending team so far. Just got ran all over last week, and there's one thing the Bears know how to do. It's run the ball with their quarterback and with their running back. So I could see that happening, but ultimately I think the Lions win at home. They're kind of playing for a wild card, potential as well. They got to win out. A few things got to happen for them to clinch, but there's still hope for the Lions. Shout out Jared Goff. Stepped up for me in fantasy with Jalen Hurts being out. Put up like 30 points, so I'll take it, man. I'm rocking with the Lions, man.
You picked it up or he was on your bench?
No, I picked him up.
Bro, who just got Jared? This has got to be like a 4-man league, bro.
It's not, bro.
That's wild.
He's sleeping on my dog.
I wish I could pick Jared Goff up in my league instead of starting Tom Brady.
It was like him or Rodgers, bro. I'm like, fuck no. Rodgers. And I could have picked up Minshew too, but
yeah, that low key would have been a fire start. But
I like Goff, man.
Browns Commanders, next game up. I've talked about the Browns all year. We already know my feelings when it comes to this team. Not gonna restate the same thing over and over again. I got the Browns this week. That's all I'm saying.
Kind of like the same thing with the Lions. Like these are like must-win games for the Commanders. The Browns are a weird team, bro. You know how you feel, but I mean, they win some games and they lose games they should easily win. Like this, I really don't know. They're on the road. They're eliminated. How much heart will they be playing with? I mean, that's something you might be able to answer more than me, but I just think the Commanders at home, tough loss on the road against the 49ers, but they were in the game. They were competitive. Wentz looked okay, threw a touchdown pass to Dotson, but ultimately, I think the Commanders handle business at home.
It's not going to be snowing, so I don't expect frozen field. Like, it looked like they're on a slip and slide last week, but
I don't know, man. Washington get a little cold, fam.
It gets a little cold, but I guarantee you don't get Lake Erie cold.
Nah, there's no.
Well, I know the Bills are last, bro, but you see the videos of, like, the Bills' cars as they were leaving.
Yeah, their
like,
players when they got back to Buffalo.
Like covered in snow.
Yeah. That's insane.
If you're in the Northeast, man, hopefully y'all staying safe, staying out of that blizzard. Hopefully pass it by soon. Y'all get back to some good vibes, man. Except the Bills. Fuck them. Jags-Texans, next game up. Talked about the Texans. They play competitive football. I expect this game to be competitive as well. AFC South teams going at it. T-Law, you talked about playing top 8, arguably top 5 QB. I'm not arguing it, man. I like the Jags. They're hot at the right time. You talked about it last week. I mean, against the Jets, just had Zach Wilson looking like Zach Wilson. But, it's Davis Mills and Jeff Driscoll. They could do the same thing here. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jags as well. Last week, I picked the Texans. And I do, kind of like you mentioned, I think this will be a more competitive game. I believe the Texans beat the Jags early on this year.
I think
for their one win before they just beat the Titans. But with that being said, it's a different Jags team. Trevor Lawrence is playing lights out right now. Evan Ingram has resurrected his career. Somebody who's watched NFC East football and seen Evan Ingram in New York and what he was like before. I mean, hats off to the guy. He can finally catch a football. He's looked really, really good. He snapped last game. He's slowly becoming, that reliable target for Trevor Lawrence. Over the middle, outside the numbers, just everywhere. And then those receivers, nothing really crazy, but good quality receivers. Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, everybody's getting involved down there. ETN's running good. Defense is playing feisty. So, I mean, we kind of mentioned the Chargers as being a hot team, but outside of the Chargers, the Jags are looking really, really dangerous, and they could honestly win a playoff game. So I think the Jags went out. They beat the Texans. They clinched the division, and they're looking good in the playoffs.
By the way, it was 13-6 win. Texans over the Jags.
Yeah.
Next game up, Niners-Raiders. Picked against the Niners last week, man. I'm not going to pick against them until Brock Purdy shows me something else, man. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, I think my pick was justifiable. The Commanders played, I kind of touched on it. They played good football. They made it a game. They didn't get blown out. They didn't get shut out. They put up points. They were able to move the ball, but ultimately,
Too many weapons.
Your man Crush got benched for Carson Wentz. Shows the kind of player he is.
How much he got that heart in him, bro.
Anybody that the team believes in him.
In college classes, that comes out of college classes and wins their team a football game in the playoffs should be immortalized in Washington Hall of Fame because they don't have much to live for over there.
But, yeah, man. I mean, outside of the Eagles and the NFC, the 49ers are the best team. I mean, if you want to say they're better than the Eagles, I probably won't agree, but I'll listen to your argument. I can completely see it. So,
in my opinion, they're better than the Eagles.
Like I said, bro, I'd listen to your argument and I can see the viewpoint, but I'm gonna pick the Eagles. They've won 9-8 straight games or something like that. 49ers are hot, man. Give me the Niners over the Raiders.
Might see what they did with Raheem Mostert a couple years ago, and this year in the playoffs, but next game up, Jets Seahawks. Mike White cleared to play, so Jets do have hope in this matchup. But I did say that the Seahawks would be that team in, and I see them winning this week at home. 12th man, made all the jokes this year. I'm ready for Geno to prove everybody wrong.
So now you're on Geno's side.
No, you said he was playing an MVP.
At the time, he was.
I'm just saying, I don't think.
No, I didn't say he was MVP. I just said his name should be in the conversation. And you said Tua's name should have been in the conversation.
He should have at the time.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
No,
bro.
except Tua's dealing with traumatic brain injuries, and Geno Smith is fine.
Before those brain injuries, he didn't have them. His play was still declining.
Nah, I mean, it happened early. All right, anyway, I'm just saying that Geno's playing at a good level.
He is. He's a Pro Bowler. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level.
Now, do I think he's a Pro Bowler? Probably not.
He's literally in the Pro Bowl.
Listen, did I say the Pro Bowl was always right? We just talked about how Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley are alternate QBs. All right.
Who else are you putting over Geno Smith in the NFC?
Who do we pick?
I picked Geno. I don't know. Who did you pick?
Dude, I don't know, bro. I don't got
Justin Fields.
Man, Justin Fields, he's carrying that team.
Or Dak. You had Dak, didn't you?
Kirk, Dak.
No, you had Hurts, Dak, and Fields, didn't you?
I think I heard Hurts, Fields. That sounds about right, bro.
And then I had Hurts, Kirk, and Geno, which was literally what happened.
No, you didn't have Kirk. You didn't have a white boy. Because remember you were talking about 3 black quarterbacks.
No, because you picked Justin Fields. I had Kirk. I just didn't pick him because we went back and forth.
Bro, someone review the tape, bro.
Bro,
roll the clip, man.
Right here, bro.
You send me the clip, bro, and you're right. I'll put it in there.
Fam.
I'll put the clip in right here if you send me that clip.
I'm about to show you right now.
Because your list it doesn't matter what your list says because we both had a
You said I didn't have Kirk, Hurts, Geno, Kirk. That's my 3. Now, we didn't pick Kirk because we alternated, and you picked Justin Fields, and then with my last pick, I picked Geno over Kirk.
All right.
But I had him.
Okay. Vikings. Wait, you picked your Jets.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out Geno. I know I just went to bat for you there, buddy. But listen, man, Mike White. This is 2 different Jets teams, bro. When they have a different quarterback besides
Mike
Zach
White was
Wilson,
gonna play
bro.
last week, bro.
Bro, when they have a quarterback not named Zach Wilson, this team actually looks competent. They actually look like they are capable of making the playoffs. They actually can win games. The team actually looks like they want to play. Now, I mean, Zach Wilson, that's a whole other story for a whole other time. We'll talk about him eventually. Probably like in the end of season wrap up or whatever. And we do like disappointments or something. But anyways,
probably the week leading to it. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure it out. But regardless, I think the Jets on the road, I just think that defense will kind of, really step up and make some big plays. And ultimately, Mike White's able to move the ball. And I just think the Jets win. I think the Jets are hungry. They're kind of playing for playoff potential. Like you said, a lot of things got to happen for the Jets to make it at this point. But, I mean, honestly, I think they can go into Seattle and sneak out a win. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks win. I can totally see it, but I'm rocking with the Jets here, man. I think they can get it done.
Next game up, NFC North matchup. Vikings against the Pack. Talked about in Lambeau. Indoor team playing outdoor. How will they play? Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. It's going to be a one-score game late in the game. You mentioned 11-0, whatever the Vikings are. Don't got the Pack making a playoff, so I guess I just got to pick against them. And give me Jay Jettis for 250 yards next week.
Now, I don't want to say I have the Pack in the playoffs right now, but I'm leaning more towards that than I have them out. I think they have two very winnable games in the division, and I think they can do it. And it starts with the Vikings. Now, we all remember week 1 where the Vikings came down and just murdered the Packers. But it's a different Packers team. Those young receivers kind of got more experience, more time under the belt. Their defense has been okay. They've stepped up a little bit. Jair's balling out. He's a Pro Bowler. But ultimately, I just think it's the Packers' ability to run the ball more effectively. The Vikings' defense has not been good at all. It's literally been they just somehow end up with the ball last, bro. And their offense is being carried by J Jets. Dalvin Cook could go for another 40-yard screen every single week. Hawkinson is unstoppable in the red zone. So that offense is just carrying this team. But listen, man, cold weather in Lambeau. Is this a primetime game? It might be in the 4 o'clock window. I think it might be in the 4 o'clock window. Eyes are gonna be on Kirk, man.
It's 4:25,
yeah,
bro.
Listen, man, we
almost
know,
prime time.
We know how Kirk is in prime time, man. So I don't know. I like the Packers, man. They've strung together some wins. They've figured out how to get it going. Last week, kind of mentioned defense stepped up, 3 big interceptions. So I'm gonna rock with the Packers, man. Vikings can't be this good, right?
I guess
they
we'll
just
find
can't
out.
be, bro.
I guess we'll find out, man. Next game up, man. Red hot Baker Mayfield takes on your boy Jay Herbs in the Los Angeles Chargers at SoFi.
Oh, SoFi Showdown.
Good old SoFi Showdown. I think this is gonna be on January 1st, right? Yeah. All these games January 1st, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Am
Sunday.
I wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, because Christmas was on Sunday.
Yeah. January 1st, Sunday. All these games on Sunday, by the way.
New Year's.
Enjoy y'all New Year's, yo. Get to wake up to some football and start the new year off right or wrong, depending on your team. Rams, Chargers. If you're a Rams fan, I mean, you know your season's done. Playing with a little fire under your edge. Expect this one to be a little chippy. Both playing at their home stadium. Which team has more home supporters?
Neither.
I don't really know, man.
It's going to be an interesting game.
Whichever jersey like Drewski's wearing in the stands, or like Odell if he's there. Who knows, bro? Rams, Chargers. Just give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Chargers too. I touched on them earlier, man. They have everything going right for them right now. Justin Herbert's playing good football. They got somewhat of a run game last night against the Colts, so that'll obviously be good in the playoffs. Run games travel well, and I just think the Chargers are the better team right now. Give me the Chargers.
Sunday Night Football, divisional AFC North matchup, Steelers-Ravens. Steelers somehow pulled off a win last week. Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowler. Give me the Pro Bowler and then Ravens.
Is Lamar not playing this week?
I don't know. He might actually, low-key. He's got a chance.
It's possible, yeah.
Because I know he was supposed to be only out for like 2 to 3, and I think this is week 3 last week.
Yeah. I mean, if Lamar plays, this becomes a lot more interesting. I'd probably pick the Ravens.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you with Zach Wilson last week. But
I don't think I ever switched the pick, by the way, but it is what it is.
I'm gonna rock with it, bro. Give me. I don't know why, but I'm gonna pick the Steelers, man. Shout out Jack. Got that boy that little NFL young boy jersey. He'll be rocking that.
I hope someone at Alcorn burns that shit.
The Steelers they've figured out ways to win games, man. They're like a quiet team they've lost their fair share of games, but they can figure out how to win games. And like you said, against the divisional opponents, AFC North games just always seem to be on prime time. They just always seem to be just like slugfest.
Yeah,
Like
they're always chippy.
they always are. It can go either way. All teams just seem to lose to every team. Like no one really like runs that division. So any team's able to lose against anyone. So I just think, Steelers come out. If it's Huntley, I think that defense steps up, makes a few big plays. And if it's Lamar, he could possibly be a little rusty, not playing the last few weeks. But, I mean, this game can go either way, but I'm going to just switch it up here and pick the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Shout out to Jack, bro. You kind of wasted your money on that George Pickens jersey. How long is he going to be there?
Well, he's a rookie, so he's got at least 3 more years.
That boy wants out already. Then you get him a QB or something. I don't know. Bills, Bengals. I guess that's a question I'll say for down the road. Bills, Bengals, Monday Night Football. This one's a good potential AFC playoff matchup we might see. I got the Bills coming out on this one on the road in Cincinnati. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be closer than what you probably think I'm thinking and stuff like that. Since I really hate the Bengals somehow more than the Bills, but I think it's gonna be a game where Josh Allen has some turnovers and so does Joe Burrow. But I do believe they both have a big day, and they both throw 300 plus and at least 2 to 3 touchdowns, if not 4.
Yeah, I personally think right now the Bengals are the best team in the AFC. Just the way they got everything going for him. Joe Burrow, I mean, he's trending in the right direction. He's another one of those guys that stepped up. He's put his name in the MVP race. Top 3 QB, top 5 QB, whichever way you want to put it. It's going to be tough, man. The Bills are a really good team, but ultimately, I just think this game comes down to the Bengals being at home and Joe Burrow playing cleaner football than Josh Allen. Josh Allen hasn't been playing good football these past few weeks. It's just that defense is really good and the weapons he has around him. But, I mean, we saw in that Dolphins game, like he's turned the ball over multiple times. Against the Bears, they only beat the Bears because their run game got going. I don't think Josh Allen had a great game passing. Regardless, I just think Joe Burrow has, at home, that team around him. I don't know. I think the Bengals are the best team in AFC right now. So I'm going to pick the Bengals in this game at home.
Josh Allen had a pick where he threw the ball over the middle, and Scott Hansen was like, "Whoa." He's like, "Was that ball tipped at the line?" And then they run the replay back. There was like no one in the middle of the field, not even a hand. Like he just airmailed it.
I mean, turnovers, fumbling, throwing it. Like it's. I mean, Josh Allen. I think he's more of a true gunslinger than he is people want to think him being a super accurate, cerebral, making every read quarterback.
Nah, he is.
I think he's a reckless. He's gonna go out there, win you some games with his big plays, but he's also gonna lose you some games with his turnovers. And, I mean, obviously, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's top 3 quarterback, arguably the best quarterback in the league, if you want to argue it. But I would say he's number 2 or 3. But, I mean, it's tough, man. That Bills team just relies too much on Josh Allen. And when he's not playing perfectly, he's prone to mistakes, and a lot of them. And a team like the Bengals, someone like Joe Burrow, who is kind of the opposite of Josh Allen, where he doesn't have the big, strong arm. He doesn't really rely on his athleticism to make crazy plays. He's more of the traditional pocket passer. He's going to sit in the pocket. He's going to read. He's going to make the right throw every time. He's going to get the ball to his playmakers on the outside, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and they'll do the rest. So I just think it comes down to Joe Burrow and the Bengals playing cleaner football than Josh Allen, where it's kind of he's going to get overwhelmed because he has to do too much. They could easily win with Josh Allen playing hero ball as well. He goes out, makes some crazy plays, rushes, has a crazy run, makes a crazy throw to Diggs. All this can happen, but, playing like that, there's a downside to where he can fumble the ball on a run, or he can make a throw and he gets hit and it's intercepted. So I think it goes both ways, but I just like the Bengals here, man.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it. Week 17 picks, man. That wraps us up here. Just one more week of the regular season, man. It's gonna be 19 episodes when we drop our next one. So I'm almost at that 20 mark. Almost 20 weeks in.
Sir.
This regular season over. We're gonna get in a little more hoops, a little more other sports. We're gonna have a lot.
It's been heating up lately, man.
Yeah, exactly. This is, Christmas time when hoops start heating up for real, bro.
Yeah.
It's kind of like October, November. It's kind of like, all right, them teams are just getting adjusted, new system. Something now is really where you start seeing the dogs come out. So we definitely gonna have some more hoops in store
coming out after the All-Star break. You start seeing, real basketball.
Yeah, can't wait. Hopefully the Heat turning around.
Bro, I saw a trade today saying the Heat would trade Kyle Lowry to the Clippers for Norman Powell and
Give me it.
For Markieff Morris.
Give me it.
And then they trade Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, 3 firsts for Trae Young.
All right, just throw the trade away now. I don't.
Something like that. Big Max was messing with it, bro.
I don't know about that, bro. Tyler Hero, he's been hooping and kind of been the only solid part of this team. Kyle Lowry, just ship him out, man. Just whatever he does for that team, just ship him out, man. It may be time just to hang up the jersey. I don't know, but yeah, man. Week 17, Goal2Go pod on I almost said Twitter, on TikTok. Go ahead, drop a follow, comment, hit that share button, send to your homeboys, homegirls. YouTube, Goal2Go. What, you don't think we got any female viewers?
No, I'm just definitely sending it to your homegirls. We don't discriminate over here, man.
All right, man. Light skin 24/7, dog. He's never out of his element.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. Go ahead, hit that share button. Apple Music, Spotify.
Go Birds.
Y'all know what to do, man. Fins up this week. Nothing much else to say.
You're not gonna throw the Browns in there?
Just get Deshaun Watson ready for next season, man. They know what they need to do at this point. Kevin knows what he's doing. Somewhat. Fire Joe Woods. Till next week. That's all I got, man. You got anything else?
That's it, man. No.
Till next week, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Appreciate it.